everybody, let's give it up for the maid of honor, Angelica Schuyler.
And toast to the groom.
To the groom, to the groom, to the groom,
To the bride.
to the bride, to the bride.
Your sister.
Angelica, Angelica.
It's always by your side.
By your side.
By your side. To your union.
To the union, to the revolution.
And hope that you provide.
You provide, you provide.
Always satisfied. I remember that night, I just might regret that night for the rest of my days. I remember those soldier boys tripping over themselves to win our praise. I remember that dream like candlelight, like a dream that you can't quite place. But Alexander, I'll never forget the first time I saw your face. I have never been the same. Intelligent eyes in a hunger pain brain. When you said hi, I forgot my dang name. Set my heart aflame, every part aflame.
This is not a game. Strike me as a woman who has never been satisfied.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean. You forget yourself.
You're like me. I'm never satisfied.
Is that right?
I've never been satisfied.
My name's Angelica Schuyler.
Alexander Hamilton.
Where's your family from?
Unimportant, there's a million things I haven't done. Just you wait, just you wait.
So this is what it feels like. Imagine this with someone at your level. What the hell is cat? It's the feeling of freedom of seeing the light. It's been breaking with a key and a kite. You see, right? The conversation lasted 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Everything was at a total agreement. It's a bit of a dream, it's a bit of a dance. It's a bit of a posture, it's a bit of a stance. He's a bit of a flirt, but I don't give him a chance. Asked about his family. Did you see his answer? His hands started twitching, he looked askance. He's penniless, he's flying with the seat of his pants. Handsome, boy, does he know it? Peach fuzz, and he can't even grow it. I want to take him far away from this place and then turn and see my sister's face, and she is helpless. Oh, she is helpless. Her eyes are just helpless. And I realize 3 fundamental truths at the exact same time.
Where are you taking me?
I'm about to change your life.
Then by all means, lead the way. Number 1.
I'm a girl in a world in which my only job is to marry rich. My father has no son, so I'm the one who has to social climb for once. I'm the oldest and the wittiest and the gossiping, insidious, insidious. And Alexander's penniless. Ha! This means one of many less.
Elizabeth Schuyler, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Schuyler.
My sister.
Number 2.
He's after me because I'm a Schuyler sister that all these are status. I'd have to be naive to set that aside. Maybe that is why I introduced him to Eliza. Now that's his bride. Nice going, Angelica. He was right. You'll never be satisfied.
Thank you for all your service.
If it takes a war for us to meet, we'll have been worth it.
I'll leave you to it.
Number 3.
I know my sister like I know my own mind. You will never find anyone as trusting or as kind. But tell her that I love him. She'd be silently resigned. He'd be mine. She'd say I'm fine. She'd be lying. But when I fantasize at night, it's Alexander's eyes. As I romanticize what might have been if I hadn't sized him up so quickly. At least my dear Eliza's his wife. At least I keep his eyes in my life. To the groom,
To the groom, to the groom, to the groom,
to the bride,
to the bride, to the bride. Angelica, Angelica.
all is by your
By your
side.
side.
To your union,
To the union, to the revolution.
and the hope that you provide.
Provide, you provide.
Always
Be
satisfied.
satisfied.
I know
Satisfied.
she'll be happy as his bride, and I know
Be satisfied.
we will never be satisfied. I will never be satisfied. All right, I think we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You spit on my nose.
I'm so sorry.
So I'd like to introduce my friends Brendan and Lisa. They both double majored in music and a STEM subject, and they've been involved with the Music and Drama Club at Goddard, and they've both worked at Goddard or Goddard-related facilities at various points. So I thought we could chat a little bit about that combination of music and STEM and your education and career paths briefly. Yeah, so what were your degrees exactly?
I was a double major in physics and vocal performance.
I get my undergraduate degrees in electrical and astronautical engineering, and then I did my master's in piano performance.
And you just got a master's in engineering as well, right?
I did. I got a master's in space systems engineering just
A few days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I do have a master's in physics too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can't help ourselves.
Yeah,
So why did you choose to try to do both of those degrees, or all of them, because there are multiple?
you know, it's hard to figure out what you want to do. At least for me, it was. You know, at the beginning of college, and like especially for a STEM major, like you need to figure that out pretty quickly because there's a lot of required classes.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like my three like primary interests were physics and music and like languages, linguistics. And I sort of learned that if I was going to pursue singing, that I'd have to learn a bunch of linguistic stuff for singing. And so it made sense to me that I still didn't have to choose if I just sort of declared as a double major singing and physics. It wasn't always perfect. There were definitely some semesters where I kind of had to Hermione Granger my way between required classes that were fully overlapped with each other.
You got a time turner.
Yeah, that
Perfect.
really helps. But it worked out.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like similar. I just keep delaying choosing as far as I can. I'm like, I can do both. I don't have to make a decision yet. And so like I come from a family of professional musicians. My dad's an orchestral conductor. My mom's a violist. My grandmother was a singer. My grandfather on the other side was the chair of the American Guild of Organists. It's just like all over the place. So I didn't have a chance. Like I had to do music at some point. But also my parents were pushing me into, something with sometimes a more stable income and things like that. And I got really into robotics in high school. And so I just ended up doing engineering. And then I told myself that I would go get my engineering degree and then go back to music afterwards. So that's how I finagled it. And it's been really fun because with opportunities like MAD, where it's kind of like the best of both worlds and, trying to struggle to do both. But really, when you get tired of one, you just go do the other. And
Yeah.
It makes you feel better.
Yeah, so I guess you don't have to choose exactly. I mean, only one is your profession, but you can keep doing both things.
Yeah. Yeah, and pianists are kind of in demand anyway because there's always somebody who needs us to accompany for a rehearsal or for a audition or something. So I do, and church pianists and things like that. So there's a ton of work out there for me as a pianist, so I can stay kind of like where I need to be with that too.
And for me, I went to a small liberal arts college, and so everyone in the music department was also a working professional. But I feel like I got a really good view into what that life would be like if I had chosen singing to be my profession, and I didn't want it.
Okay. Have you encountered many people in the STEM world who do music? I feel like the answer is probably yes.
I think there's a ton.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think that has a lot to do with just like the discipline that music requires at like an early age. Like I've been playing piano since I was 6, and it's just like you have to learn really quickly how to dissect a problem and then like, take each chunk and do it and put it together. And so I feel like that is really good for me for engineering because it's like systems engineering. Just like, you have a piece of music and you have to practice each measure individually and put it together, and then you have to do the piece as a whole. It's like systems engineering. Built spacecraft, the whole thing has to work on its own, but you have to make sure each little part is working there too. So it's like 1-to-1 in my opinion. And then of course people talk about like math and music theory.
Sure.
There's definitely some relationship there.
Okay. Do you feel like music has helped you in your job at all?
I would say indirectly, or directly, but in like a weird way, where like that's just a thing that's known at my job. That like I was asked to sing at my interview.
Really?
Yep, and I had like
Okay.
multiple in-person interviews.
Doesn't happen to pianists.
No, it doesn't come up.
Pianos and
You don't just like roll out I certainly, I'm a test engineer basically, and so whenever we're doing witnessed tests, there needs to be someone who's conducting the test, who's sort of running things but not actually operating any of the systems, and is also reading through all of the steps to make sure that the steps are being executed. And immediately I became that person for like all of our tests, so that I can, I can use my beautiful man voice to properly speak, though not as Gaston.
Still like your guest.
Yeah, last year I suggested I did all the witness tests in my Gaston voice, and they didn't buy it. They didn't like it. But.
Okay. I think that's all the questions I have.
Okay.
Cool.
This was so much fun.
Yeah, this was great.
Yeah.
This was great. This is one of the things I miss the most about like not being an undergrad anymore, is like having music friends that like you don't have to plan to get together with to make music together.
Right, spontaneous.
Yeah.
And
Well, we did plan this.
but
Yeah.
we didn't, yeah. But you can just kind of roll in and know that all of you are good enough to make it work. I
Yeah.
think that's fun. For sure.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Bye. But Alexander, I'll never quite. Okay.
Just redo it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll never be satisfied.
My name is Angelica Schuyler.
I'm so sorry. Unimportant, there's a million things I've hadn't done.
Stu Ray.
Just you